If you know in your gut that you're meant for more, this video is for you. So welcome back to the part 2 of the 12 life-changing lessons that I've learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor. And if you haven't watched part 1 yet, go ahead and check it out here. I'm gonna leave the link right here. But if you're ready to go deeper and make the shift into your true purpose, stay tuned, stay focused, this one's for you. Bob Proctor says a lot of this in his teaching with confidence. He would say, tell me what you want and I'll show you how to get it. This was another reason why that I was hooked, because I knew deep down inside that I wanted to be someone. I didn't want to be a nobody. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be free, and I wanted to be who I am. So when I tapped into the secret, he calls it the secret, that's when I really understand how the formula works. And fast forward now, I've helped not just myself, but a community of people create the life that they want. So remember, information is everywhere. The key is to be able to apply them into your life. It's not easy because change is not easy. That's why a lot of people resist and they stay exactly where they are at. What got you here won't get you there. And if you're watching this video, you are going somewhere. You are elevating. Environment is more powerful than willpower. You can have all the ambition in the world, but if your environment is toxic, draining, or full of people that don't believe in your vision, your fire will fade. I know because I have been there. And the reason why I was there is because I really didn't believe in myself. So I allowed myself to be in that situation. And not only that, I was so used to it that I didn't know how to move on. So I lived a life that was completely dim until I decided to light that baby up all by myself, because I knew there was something more inside of me. Me and Bob will not be the first or last person to tell you who you spend your time with is very important. The people around you have major influences in your life. Recognize it and you can make those decisions and change. Your environment, it's either going to lift you up or it's going to limit you. And I know the hardest part is when it comes down to family members. So when I first started auditing my own life, I look at myself, who am I surrounding myself with? What kind of content am I consuming? What habits do I have that are really not helping me and I gotta change? For example, I used to snooze all the time and I like to sleep in. I don't want to get out of bed because the truth is I was really depressed. Now, I jump out of bed. I got stuff to do. I have my goals. I am excited. I feel great about it because there's something that is worth pursuing now. Before, I feel like everything I was doing is because I have to, not because I want to. That's a huge difference. And these habits are deep rooted inside. And it goes so deep to the way we think. So I used to think I have to be in a certain crowd to be relevant. And I was basically in a rat race. And when I realized that it wasn't true, that's when I took the power back. I started to realize by standing by who I am and what I stand for is how I attract the right people that are in harmony with me in my life. Even that was a process for my own self-discovery. And I'm continuing on that journey. Change is scary, but remember, when you change, the people around you will also change. Those that don't like you and don't like your change, they'll be gone, which is great because it makes room for those who are actually looking for you. So always look at the bright side. Go to where your people are at. And if you're like me, you have kids, you live in the suburb, you don't have time to travel. I used to travel all the time. But for me, my priority is to be here with my family. The good news is everything is at your fingertip. You have the internet. I have a whole chapter covered in my own book called Own Your Path. You can order it here on the link below. And the key is you will find a way. Upgrade your environment and your standards will rise with it. Go to where you belong. I said earlier, sometimes the hardest is the family members. It's okay to love them from a distance. That's what I had to do. But when you stay true to you, you're actually helping them as well. You already have everything you need. Bob always talk about you were born rich. He actually has a book on that. I'll do another video on that book later. But Bob didn't just mean financially. He meant spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. You already have enough. You are already enough. As human beings, we have a tendency to have this grass is always greener on the other side mindset. I used to have that. I used to constantly chase the next big project, the next big wave of business trends, the next moment. Then I realized that I wasn't missing anything. I just wasn't using what I had right now and using the now that I have to create what is tomorrow. I was spending my time comparing myself and seeing why I'm not there. instead of using that time to create. So use the power of now with what you have. In part 1, we talked about thoughts are things, and that's the foundation of all things. If you can see in your mind, you can hold in your hand. Focus on what you see in your mind and use what you have now to take action. You'll be surprised with the momentum you start to create with the actions that you take, what kind of miracle will start to come into your life. Miracle just means something happening with no logical explanation. So allow it to happen. Stop searching for the outside for what's already on the inside. Trust yourself more. You're more powerful than you know it. Act as if. This is my favorite part. This one's a game changer for me. This goes directly with the self-image that we spoke about. I used to help other people make their movie professionally, quite literally. But when I realized that I live in my movie, that I am writing and directing and I am acting in it, and I get to help other people like you that's watching this video, that's when everything started to change for me. This gives me life. So act as if the version of you that has the life that you already want. So act as if the version of you that's already living the life that you want, the life that is inside you, the life that you desire. Don't get me wrong. When I first started, it felt weird, it felt fake, it felt impossible. I questioned myself all the time. These are normal feelings, okay, because you're doing something new. But it's a repetition of showing up for yourself every single day. This is the process of becoming. And I started to see myself. How do I walk? How do I dress? How do I make decisions? All of these started to come into play. So it's work every single day. I started to act like that Lillian that I wanted to become. And now I have became. Everything changed. I'm always in the becoming process, constantly elevating and doing things that I have never done before. It's not pretending, it's embodying. There's a saying, fake it until you make it. So I say, faith it until you make it. Overnight success are years in the making. My mantra to myself every single day is act as if it's impossible to fail. You don't wait to be confident. You decide to move into it right now. That's how you create momentum and faith and build your confidence. My goal is to be the top motivational speaker, coach, and storyteller. Even though I don't have many followers right now, I'm taking action and I am persisting. And there are several learning curves in this, and I'm willing to do it until I figure it out. And I will speak it into existence. Watch me. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. The key here is to be it before you can see it. Leave everybody with the impression of increase. This is something I learned from Bob Proctor, but he really got this from The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace DeWaddle. And I actually did a breakdown on that book. Link is right here. Wherever you go, elevate the room. It's that simple. This means leave people better before you found them. Treat people how you would like to be treated. This means leave people better before you found them. Treat people how you would like to be treated and put a smile on their face. And it's completely free to do so. I'm saying this because once I understood this, I feel like this is common sense. Why not treat people the way they like to be treated? It's not costing me anything. What it is, it's a habit change. It's a mindset shift. And the best thing is when you do this, the person that elevates most is you. And I want you to go out today and make a compliment to someone. It could be a stranger. It could be someone at Starbucks. It could be someone in the supermarket. Make a compliment. Even say smile. See how you feel. Because every single time now, when I feel down, you know what I do? I go out and help people. It could be making a compliment. It could be buying coffee for a stranger that I don't know. It doesn't matter what I do, but I do know when I am able to put a smile on someone's face, not only that they feel good, I feel great. And this is where our energy and frequency, whatever you want to call it, rise up. And that gives me energy to keep going. You know, when we create things in life, we need energy. Energy comes from that thought, and that creates a feeling. And sometimes we don't have the energy. It's okay, because life is full of ups and downs. But when it's down, when you are able to lift someone up, you're also creating energy for you. And also try it with your business, your clients, your coworkers, day to day, and just notice how you feel. That marks the leader. And honestly, that's how you build real influence. People don't remember what you say. They remember how you make them feel. Decide, then figure it out. But this is the biggest change that I have made in my life. because it was always very difficult for me to make decisions on my own. I would sit there and try to decide on something. I go back and forth, and then I get tired and I don't want to think about it. If you can relate, comment below and let me know, because you're not alone and you're letting me know that I'm not alone. And we get stuck because we want the entire plan laid out before us. We want to know it's a sure thing. But the truth is, a lot of big decisions when we make, there is going to be a lot of uncertainty. And Bob completely flipped that. He said, it's not about how, but it's about deciding right now with what you have. This is when don't worry about the how come into play. Most people, they can't even decide, let alone figuring out the how. The how is still important, but once you make the decision, once it's made, let the mind do the thinking, come out with all the creative ideas, and then start to act on them. When you embark on this journey, that's how you start to learn. You gather resources, you learn what works, what doesn't work, you connect with the right people, and something will lead to something else. And with the use of the internet now, there's tons of resources readily available at your fingertip. You're watching this video for a reason. You probably saw me online somewhere. Someone sent you a link, or you were Googling. I don't know, but because of the internet, we are connected. So when I embarked on my YouTube journey, I had no idea how to make this work, and I'm still figuring it out. But the thing is, I knew that the best way for me to do is just start to make videos. Just take action. And in this process, I am learning so much about social media, about things I've never ever learn or understand, and I'm still continuing to learn because I'm trying to make this work, and I'm going to make this work. So it's a journey that we are all on. But the decision for me to able to create a community through YouTube is so then I could achieve my goal. I could help more people. And by you watching this video is you helping me pursue my goal. So I just want to say thank you. And the key is the minute that you make a decision, you start to create the momentum. Doors open, resources show up. The how starts to reveal itself for you. The key is the moment you truly decide, everything changes. Door opens, resources show up, the how reveals itself. But clarity doesn't come from waiting. It comes from committing. You are meant to live an abundant life. Scarcity is a lie. That's a competitive mindset, and a lot of us has been there. I've been there. That was a lie that I told myself all the time in the past. I just want you to know, you were not born to settle. You were not born to just survive. So if you're in that survival mode, that's okay. I was there. Now you have the awareness, you can make the shift. When I first started to learn about this, I was like, yeah, right. Then why did all this pain and all this trauma have to happen to me? Why did I not come from a family wealth? Yada, 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 and it goes on. What I really learned was everything is inside out. This goes back to what I was telling myself. The moment that I realized, well, if my way isn't working for me and I'm desperate and I need help, so why not try Bob's way? That's when everything started to change. Bob helped me understand that abundance isn't for some people. Abundance is your birthright. Comment below. Abundance is my birthright. That means time freedom, money freedom, emotional freedom, living a full and vibrant life, overflowing in every area. Then I was like, okay, I want to be free, and I want to be truly happy. Like truly, truly happy and truly meaningful. Like having a meaning in my life. But here's the thing. You don't attract abundance. You align with it. This goes back to thoughts are things, and it goes even deeper, your belief system. This ties to everything that we talked about. Think of the life that you want. Act as if it's already done. Think and act like that person. What decisions would you be making? The person at the end goal. And what would you be doing? How do you think? How do you talk? And that's when everything shifted for me. Nothing happened overnight, by the way. This is not a get quick rich scheme. This is work. It takes time. It takes persistence. And it takes a lot of inner work that translates to outside work. And honestly, a lot of failing and making mistakes. It's not a bad thing because mistakes is you trying. Every time I make a mistake, I'm doing something I've never done before. If I'm not making a mistake, I'm not trying, right? For me, because I want to do something big and I want to do great things, and I'm not willing to be invisible and being a nobody. And I want to do things that could bring positivity, healing, and continue to raise leaders. So it's a lot of work, and I'm doing it right now. So start thinking, acting, and giving like that abundant version of you today. And guess what? That you at your end goal, that future you, he or she is very proud of you for deciding to make that decision and do it for yourself. All right? That's the 12 powerful lessons from one of the greatest mentors that I have ever known. If this moves you, inspires you, or reminded you of your own power, and if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button yet, I would totally invite you to do so I get to grow with you and be a part of your journey, and you're helping me with my goals to create positive impact to more people around the world. So remember, you were born with everything you need. Rise, lead, and let's rock and roll.